It was a quiet evening in Ouagadougou, the kind of silence that presses against your chest, the kind that tells you something is about to break. Inside the presidential residence, Ibrahim Traoré sat at his desk, papers piled high, reports of foreign interference, regional instability, and mounting pressure from ECOWAS filled the room like smoke. Then the phone rang. The caller ID read, NG. He picked up slowly. A warm, familiar voice came through, confident, diplomatic. It was Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Brother Ibrahim, how are you? Tinubu asked. Traoré responded calmly. He knew that voice, the tone, the polish. Tinubu wasted no time. All this tension with ECOWAS, the sanctions, it doesn't have to go on like this. Let's meet, you and I in Abuja. Just us, face to face, African brothers. No interference. No France. No strings. Peace talks. Traoré leaned back in his chair. Peace talks. Yes, of course, Tinubu chuckled. A conversation between leaders. You have my word. There was a pause. Then Traoré said, I'll think about it. But once the call ended, something didn't sit right. It was too smooth, too perfect. Traoré walked to the window, peering out over the glowing city. He picked up the phone again, this time calling his intelligence chief. Track all French diplomatic activity in Abuja, he ordered. I want eyes on every unfamiliar face at Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport. Monitor ECOWAS channels. If this is a trap, I want to see it before it snaps shut. Understood, Mr. President. Miles away in Abuja, another phone call was taking place. One Traoré would never hear. A French official gave clear, hush instructions. Once he lands, keep him grounded. Delay him just long enough. We'll handle the rest. The Nigerian contact replied coldly, understood. He won't get past the tarmac. The trap was set. An invitation wrapped in brotherhood. A handshake concealing handcuffs. A plan to capture the one African leader France couldn't control. But what they didn't know was that Traoré was already watching. Whispers of the Abuja meeting began to circulate. Publicly, it was just a diplomatic mission. Privately, it was something far more sinister. French embassy staff extended their hours. Unmarked cars entered restricted hangars. The Nigerian secret police increased their presence at the airport, all with no press coverage, no questions asked. Meanwhile, Traoré said nothing. No public travel plans. No press releases. At precisely 11:43 a.m., a jet bearing the Burkina Faso flag took off. News broke. President Traoré en route to Abuja for peace talks. Cameras rolled. Journalists gathered. As the jet approached, Nigerian security teams braced themselves. The moment Traoré stepped off, they would detain him, under the guise of diplomatic protocol. In a command center nearby, an intelligence officer whispered into his headset, "Target jet approaching. Confirm interception." "Stand by." Another voice answered. France wants eyes on him the second that door opens. But when the plane landed and the doors swung open, it wasn't him. Too calm. Smiling diplomats stepped out. "President Traoré regrets he couldn't attend," one said. "He sends his regards." Panic swept the operation. French agents monitoring from a nearby hotel scrambled, because while the world expected Ibrahim Traoré to walk into a trap, he walked into a broadcast studio in Ouagadougou. Wearing military uniform, firm and composed, he addressed the nation. "They thought I would land in Abuja quietly," he said. "But I don't walk into traps. I don't answer to puppets. I answer to the people." Then came the line that would echo across the continent. "You do not arrest a lion by inviting him to dinner." The internet exploded. Calm and deliberate, Traoré held up a folder thick with intelligence documents. "Last week, I received a personal invitation from President Tinubu. He said it was for peace, for Africa. But it wasn't peace they wanted. It was a setup, planned, funded, and approved by foreign interests." Behind him, a screen displayed intercepted messages, audio clips, and directives. One clearly stated, "Ensure Ibrahim Traoré does not leave Nigeria without approval." Code word, stabilization protocol. This time, the world couldn't deny it. In Abuja, chaos erupted behind closed doors. The French embassy offered no comment. ECOWAS released a vague, almost meaningless statement. But online, the truth spread like wildfire. Traoré didn't just survive the trap, he exposed it. Crowds poured into the streets of Burkina Faso, not to protest, but to celebrate. In Mali, students painted murals of lions walking past open cages. In Niger, a radio host declared, "Africa is awake, and those who pull the strings are now pulling excuses." Even in Nigeria, the fallout was immense. Citizens, especially the youth, began to ask uncomfortable questions. If our leaders lure others just to betray them, one woman asked on TikTok, then who do they really serve? Traoré is a lion, someone tweeted. Ours would sell the jungle for a handshake from France. The story exploded across the continent. Posters, protests, podcasts, murals. Traoré had sparked something bigger than one country. This wasn't just about Burkina Faso. This was about every African nation where choices are made in secret, where foreign powers still whisper into the ears of presidents. In Ghana, civil society leaders held emergency forums. In Senegal, market women wore shirts that read, "We are all Traoré." In Kenya, a radio host asked, "How did Nigeria become France's delivery boy?" The betrayal hurt because it came from within, from one African leader trying to set up another. Tinubu remained silent. No statement. No denial. And in that silence, the people spoke louder than ever. Traoré had turned a trap into a mirror and forced Africa to confront its reflection. If this story moved you, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment with your thoughts, and share it with someone who still believes in African sovereignty.